Marcella Lee, meteorologist Sean Stiles, and sports with John Howard. This is News 8 at 5.
Coming up you tonight at 5:30, a long ride home is coming to an end. A Southern California couple is back in San Diego after a trip around the world. Listen to this, though. Instead of a few weeks and first-class airfare, they decided to hop on their bikes for 4 years. We're going to have that story new for you tonight at 5:30.
And around the world in 4 years on their bicycles. I'm Heather Lucas. One California couple's amazing adventure coming up in a live report.
Well, they are not the only couple to have traveled around the world.
But they may be the only ones you know who did it on bikes. Pat and Kat Patterson pedaled back into San Diego today, almost 4 years after their trip began. News 8's Heather Lucas joins us live from Harbor Island with more on their incredible journey. Heather?
Tracy and Andre, what a trip. This is where family and friends gathered to congratulate the Pattersons on making it back to the U.S. safely. They still need to make it back home to Oxnard, but they're spending the night in San Diego resting their tired legs.
I want to ride my bicycle, I want to ride my bike, I want to ride my bicycle, I want to ride it where I like.
And for almost 4 years, Catherine and Pat Patterson have been riding exactly where they want, all over the world. The one question everyone asks is why?
For the adventure, just to get to know the world and get to know people around the world, and the challenge, and just an exciting experience.
Their adventure began April 12, 2002, when the couple left their home in Oxnard. Catherine had recovered from a major heart attack, and her husband was an adventurer at heart. The two decided, why not? They cycled through the U.S. into eastern Canada, then on to Greenland and Scandinavia, pedaling by windmills through the countryside. From there it was on to Europe. Who couldn't fall in love with Paris?
If you come in on a bus or in a car or something, you just pass right through. But when you ride in on a bike looking like this, you know, it's different. And they come right up to you and they say, where are you from?
It was challenging. It's a hard way to travel being on a bicycle. Africa was, you know, it was so amazing. People are warm and gracious and welcoming and helpful. And I think one thing we learned on this trip is that people all over the world are pretty much the same. It's the governments that are so different.
South America to Central America, their final leg through Mexico, and then back onto U.S. soil, where News 8 helped welcome them home.
57 countries, 35,000 kilometers, about 23,000 miles on the bikes right now.
We've got so many memories and so many wonderful new friendships and relationships all over the world that we'll never forget.
Wow!
And they will start pedaling again tomorrow morning. They expect to make it back home to Oxnard by next weekend. They sold their real estate business and their car to finance this trip. So in many ways, they'll be starting from scratch when they get back home.
I was wondering how